कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। The four sons of Dasharatha were born. The episodes till now, the events that have happened till now, be it Dasharatha and his wives desiring a son, later they inviting Rishyashringa to perform the Ashwamedha for a year based on Shukla Yajurveda, and the Shrauta Bhagam called as Putrakama Ishti based on Atharvana Veda to be performed as an appendix to the original Ashwamedha Yajnam, and thereby the Yajna Purusha coming out of the sacrificial fire and handing over the patram of the divine concoction, or in our layman terms payasam or kheer, to the king, and the king distributing them in the ratio of 50% to Kaushalya, 25% to Sumitra, 12.5% to Kaikeyi, and the remaining 12.5% again to Sumitra. We have seen. After that, by the divine grace, the queens were pregnant, and after a period of 12 months, which is 3 in the father, 9 in the mother, so the children were born. Thereby the children were also named by the Kulaguru Vasishtha. Kaushalya's son was called Rama. He was born in the star of Punarvasu. Kaikeyi's son was called as Bharata. He was born in the star, in the nakshatra of Pushya. Next, Sumitra's sons Lakshmana and Shatrughna were born in the star nakshatram of Aslesha. All the four brothers were extremely attached. Saubhratritvam, fraternity, good brotherhood was visible in them. Nevertheless, Lakshmana's attachment to Rama and Shatrughna's attachment to Bharata was beyond the description of most of our poets. They were so well attached. While saying so, I have to mention one point. Kalidasa and a few other poets in the payasam distribution percentages differ. They say 50% was given to Kaushalya, 50% was given to Kaikeyi, and being impressed with Sumitra's philosophical bent of mind and her general selflessness, both Kaushalya and Kaikeyi gave a small share of what they had received each to Sumitra. This is one description that comes. It may be admirable, but it is not true. Why? Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabrahmayed is one very prachina shlokam. When there is a conflict in the description, in the data given by the Itihasa and the Purana, our Acharyas have opined that Itihasam should be given more weightage. It doesn't mean Puranas are bad or they should be discarded. When there is a conflict, then you will have to give more importance to the Itihasa. So, even if there are transcreations and beautiful creative works based on Srimad Ramayanam like Raghuvamsham of Kalidasa, Bhasa's Natakam, Pravarasena's Setubandhana Kavyam, then you have got Janaki Haranam. These are all works that came much later. When we have a conflict in the description, especially between the later works and Valmiki's Ramayanam, we should also always go by the description given by Valmiki Ramayanam. If there is no mention in the Valmiki Ramayanam at all and then there is a description, you can accept it fully. So Valmiki's percentages are right. So in case you have a confusion about the percentages, please consider only Valmiki's. 1. Whatever events have happened till now, around the 16th century, in a beautiful temple town called as Guruvayur in Kerala, in the southern state of Kerala, there is a beautiful town completely dedicated to Krishna. This particular Vigraham that you see in the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Garbhagraham of the temple, was earlier worshipped by Krishna himself. Prior to him, Aditi and Kashyapa had worshipped. Prior to them, Prishni and Sutapas had worshipped that particular, propitiated that particular deity. So that deity who was worshipped by so many stalwarts and later by Krishna himself is now seen in Sri Guruvayur. Around the 16th century, there lived a great poet, extraordinary poet with unimaginable skills of poetry. His name was Narayana Bhattatri. So Narayana Bhattatri, or called as Melpattu Narayana Nambutri, he brought forth the essence of Srimad Bhagavata Mahapuranam in 1034 shlokas. This collection, this compendium is referred to as Sriman Narayaniyam. In that compendium, in the 2 dashakas, in 2 decades that he describes Ramayanam, he summarizes the events that we have seen till now. So he has made my job and your job easy. Girvanairarthyamano dashamukha nidhanam kosaleshvrishya shringe putriyam ishtimishva dadushi dasharathaksma bhrite payasagryam tadbhuktya tadpurandhrishvapi trishusu samam jata garbha sujato ramastvam lakshmanena swayam atha bharatenapi Shatrughna namna. So, this is the essence that he gives in Sriman Narayaniyam. See, here also the poets are very careful. While describing the brothers, they say Ramastvam Lakshmanena. Whenever they have to tell the names of the boys in pairs, they will always say Rama Lakshmana, Bharata Shatrughna. In fact, in the north of India, it is told in a very colloquial manner, Ram Lakhan. So Ram Lakhan are the 2 names that always go together. So it is Rama Lakshmana, that pair, Bharata Shatrughna, the other pair. But they weren't born in that order. Rama Bharata Lakshmana Shatrughna. But if I have to tell this order, I have to be very careful. I have to be doubly sure if I am telling it right. Rama Bharata Lakshmana Shatrughna. Whereas for the other way of telling it, Rama Lakshmana, Bharata Shatrughna, it is very easy. This said, we need to understand what Parashara Maharshi in Vishnu Puranam states. Vishnu Puranam is a very important Pramana Grantham. In fact, in the commentaries to the Brahma Sutras, Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads by the Trimatacharyas, that is, Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada of the Advaita Siddhantam, Bhagavad Ramanuja, or referred to as Sri Bhashyakara in Visishtadvaita Siddhantam, and Madhvacharya in the Dvaita Siddhantam. All 3 of them, while delineating on the Brahma Sutras, while commenting upon the verses of the Gita or the Upanishads, they take references from Puranas and Itihasas. One Puranam that is time and again cited by all Acharyas is Sri Vishnu Puranam. It is also one Puranam that has got many number of commentaries. We have Sridharacharya's commentary, we have Vishnu Chitta's commentary called Vishnu Chittiyam, many commentaries. So in Vishnu Purana, Parashara Maharshi, Vedavyasa's father, Shuka Brahmam's grandfather, Shakti's son and Vasishtha's grandson. So that person's name was Parashara Maharshi. Parashara Maharshi states, Tasyapi Bhagavan Abjanabho Jagatastityarthamamshena Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna Rupena Chaturdha Putrattvamasit. So the four sons who were born to Dasharatha were not primitive mortals like the both of us, the ones who are listening and the one who is speaking. They were the incarnations of the Lord and Nitya Suris. Those people like the aborigines of Australia, like the native Americans of the American continent, people who have lived for generations together. There is no question of whether they have migrated to that place. They were the people originally belonging to that place. Similarly, people who originally belong to Sri Vaikuntham are referred to as Nitya Suris. Nitya means eternal. Suris, they are called Suri. That is why Vedam says Sada Pashyanti Surayaha. It tells in Bahuvachanam. Surayaha, the Suris in many number, they are Nitya Suris. So who are the Nitya Suris? The possessions of the Lord. The Lord who is being served by so many people in Sri Vaikuntham, they are all Nitya Suris. Like Ananta. Ananta is Adisesha, the serpent, who is the couch, who is the asanam to the Lord. He is one of the Nitya Suris. Garuda, the vehicle that carries the Lord. Next, Vishwaksena, the one who is the commander-in-chief of all the Suris there. Vishwaksena. He is called Senesha. Then we also have Shankham, Chakram. They are all called Ayudha Purushas. They are also Nitya Suris. So Parashara is of the opinion that the Nitya Suris were born to serve the Lord. By the Lord, Sriman Narayana himself, the Paramatma himself chose to be Rama. Adisesha became Lakshmana. Shankham and Chakram became Bharata and Shatrughna. That is why he says, Stityarthamamshena, Amshena. So, the Amsham of all these Nitya Suris were born. Now, how were the brothers? Balyad Prabhriti Susnigdhaha Lakshmano Lakshmivardhanaha Ramasya Loka Ramasya Bhraturjeshthasya Nityashaha Sarvapriyakarastasya Ramasya Pisharirataha Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampannaha Bahih Prana Iva Paraha Nachatena Vina Nidram Labhate Purushottamaha Balyat Prabhriti Susnigdaha. Right from a very young age, they were born. Right from that age, they were very attached. Balyat Prabhriti Susnigdaha. Their love also eternally grew like that. Lakshmano Lakshmi Vardhanaha. He was a very rich man, Lakshmana. In what way was he rich? His attachment to Rama, that attachment, that love that he had towards his brother was that greatest wealth he possessed. Ramasya Loka Ramasya Bhraturjeshthasya Nityashaha. But all the three brothers were extremely attached to Rama. Not that Lakshmana was the only one. Bharata had equal love and Shatrughna too had equal love. If their love was 100%, Lakshmana was 101%. That's all. Now, there is a Prachina Shlokam that celebrates all these personalities of Srimad Ramayanam. Ramam Ramanujam Sitam Bharatam Bharatanujam Sugrivam Vayusununcha Pranamami Punah Punaha. I shall keep saluting these personalities again and again, says the Karta. Who? Ramam. I will celebrate Rama. Ramanujam. That is Rama's brother Lakshmana. Now you may wonder, Sir, Ramanuja could also denote Bharata. No, the shloka says Ramam, Ramanujam. Rama and Rama's brother. For now, if we think that as Lakshmana and not Bharata, it is correct. Why? Again the shloka says Sitam, Bharatam Bharatanujam. So then it says, I salute Bharata and Bharata's brother. Thereby, Ramanujam mentioned earlier, that word Ramanuja, though in general it may denote any brother of Rama, specifically it denotes only Lakshmana. That is why in Sundara Kandam, while Sita inquires about Rama and Lakshmana, she asks Hanuman, Ramanujam Lakshmana Purvajam cha. How is Rama's brother Lakshmana and how is the one who was born before Lakshmana doing? Lakshmana Purvajam cha. So, Ramam, Ramanujam, Sitam, Bharatam, Bharatanujam. Next, Sugrivam Vayusunum cha. Sugriva and Vayusunu, the son of Vayu, who is Hanuman. Cha pranamami punah punaha. I shall celebrate and pay my obeisances to them time and again, says this particular shloka. While we are telling that they were extremely attached, what did they do in their childhood? What did Valmiki describe about their childhood? What happened to them later? All this we should see in the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.